Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Shooby dooby doobity, shooby dooby doobity. This is a placeholder song, I hope. Hey everybody, welcome back to the All Men, the All Moments Eternally Nice podcast. I'm your host, Max Haddad, and this week, baby, we've got some big news. But first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you if you tune in every week. Thank you if this is your first time tuning in. I'm going to move my microphone. Just thank you. Any support is awesome. I guess at this point, because I've been thinking about this, I'm going to ask, maybe share it with a friend. Maybe do that. Max is getting a little growth hungry. He's going to lose sight of the goal, and then he's going to get overwhelmed, and then he's going to stop making the episodes at all. That's not going to happen. I'm just saying. I have this big hang up where, okay, so as a comedian in 2023, apparently you have to have a social media following in order to be successful. That sucks. I can't think of a worse hell than being forced to be on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, but apparently you have to. So I've decided that really the only way that I'm comfortable doing that, yes, I can like upload clips and stuff to Instagram and TikTok, like I said, whatever, but I think YouTube is my path. I enjoy it. I like uploading videos. So you're the first to hear it. Maybe expect to see some videos from me in the future that aren't this podcast. Maybe I'll do some more prison commentary videos, stuff like that, because I guess I need a social media following. I hate that. I wish I could just be a good stand-up comedian and that was enough, but apparently it's not. So fuck me. Here we go. So maybe share it. But more importantly than maybe share it is thank you so much. Truly. Thank you for being here. I'll say it again. Expected this podcast to have 0 listeners, 0 viewers for a while, if not ever. And it's never been the case. There's always been some. So I really appreciate it. The big news this week, baby. Oh, wait. First of all, hold on. What's this about? What are we doing here? What's the All Men about? The All Moments Eternally Nice podcast. It's about making all of our moments, at least some of our moments, hopefully most of our moments, a little bit nicer. The bad ones, make them less bad. The good ones, make them great. That's what we're here to do. How do we do that? We talk about mental health and we talk about pursuing our dreams. My dream, stand-up comedy. I hate to call it a dream, makes me uncomfortable. Truth be told, makes me feel a little bit gay, but we're doing it anyways. So that's why we're here. Welcome. How have you guys been? Hope you've been doing well. If you haven't been doing well, I hope it hasn't been so bad. If it's been so bad, I hope that you found some peace somewhere. Maybe listening to my soothing baritone voice, maybe reading a book, maybe going for a walk. I hope you found some bright spots in your bad moments because it sucks when it just feels completely doom and gloom, all gray all the way through. You got to have some moments where you can just take a breath. But now to the big news. Now to the news we've all been waiting for. I've talked about this, oh my gosh, at least once. I'm dating again. Now what does that mean? Nothing. Almost nothing. It basically means nothing. I'm back on the apps, baby. Daddy's putting himself out there. Nips forward. Shirt off. They're seeing me. They're not liking it, but that's okay. We put our lead with the chin or whatever. Say it with me. If you don't vape, you should, especially teenagers. Bigger than that, young kids, 7, 8 years old, pick up a nicotine habit. So, yeah, I decided that my life is weird in that I don't, and maybe this is just what it's like to be in your 30s, but I don't really meet women. Like I see them, you know what I mean? Like I go grocery shopping and I'll see a pretty lady and I'll be like, well, she's pretty. Well, it doesn't make sense nowadays for me to be like, what are you buying? Celery? You know, to start a conversation. They don't want to be hassled at the grocery store. Go to the gym. I've started going to the gym. I know, pretty big deal. I'm pretty cool. My life's going pretty great right now. I know, it's amazing. And it's all because of me. I'm pretty great. Go to the gym, see, of course, women scantily clad, basically, because that's what women work out in also. It's, guys work out in sweatpants and a t-shirt. Women work out in lingerie. So see them get real horny, real turned on, want to say something. And then what are you going to say? What are you doing? Lifting weights? Huh? I see you up on that Stairmaster. You look nice from behind. It's they're there to work out. They're there for the same reason I am, which is to ogle women. No, they're there for the same reason that I am, which is to go to the gym and get in shape. And a lot of times I know for me, I have to force myself to go. So they probably are in the same boat. And the last thing they want is some fucking nerd coming up to them trying to get in their pants. So, or their shirt. Really, I'll take any type of clothing to get under. Even their hat. I'll crawl in under their little baseball hat and I'll just sit up there. So that's how I feel about it. I feel like I don't want to, I don't want to impose. And I know that's not very confident. Like, you got to be confident to attract a woman. But at the same time, it's really important to me not to make a complete ass of myself. That's not true. I do it on stage all the time. But it's important to me in real life to not shame myself with a social interaction. And so, I gave out my number to a girl the other week. So I'll do it. It'll happen. But I don't want that to be the only place that I'm doing it, and I also want to be playing the numbers game, because I know I have this tendency where any girl that's attracted to me that I'm, mildly attracted to, I'm head over heels. I'm all in. And I don't know if I'm still that way, but my guess is I'm still that way. It's been 4 years since I've dated anybody. And so I don't want to do that again. And I think a good way to not do that is to play the numbers game, to be talking to multiple women, and of course be transparent about it. And how do you do that? Unless you're younger and you're going out socializing with your friends at clubs and stuff like that. Like, how do you meet multiple women? Like, dating apps. That's what it looks like. Everybody in my age group is on the apps. If they're not with somebody, they're on Tinder. They're on, what's the other one? Hinge. They're on Bumble. They are. And so I just kind of have accepted that that's normal and that that's what I have to do. I'm on Tinder. I don't like Tinder, and not maybe for the reason you think. Well, it's all hookups. Isn't that gross? Max doesn't want that. Max would die for that. But it's all bots. Tinder is like mostly robots, and I'll tell you more about that. I had an interaction, but I've had this on Tinder throughout my Tinder tenure. Is that there's just so many bots on Tinder that it's near impossible to figure out. Like, it's not near impossible to figure out who's a real girl. You can see some. You better be. If that's a bot, they need a new picture. Not to be mean, but come on. But nowadays, if you see somebody that's gorgeous, like an Instagram model or whatever, you're like, yeah, it's probably a bot. But not even that. They just take pictures of regular people and use them. And I don't know if it's the same for girls. If there's guy bots, I'm sure there are bots that are pretending to be men that probably are men. The bots that are women are men pretending to be women, for sure. The bots that are men might just be guys being guys, but not using their own picture. Just some Indian man sitting in a chair waving, they're not using that. So, if you don't vape, you should. Nice vape today, by the way. Went to the gym earlier today, and something about exercising's got me all pumped up. And now I'm hitting this thing. I'm doing, I did good for my body. Now I'm doing damage to my body. And it's a nice blend. The juxtaposition of two different mentalities is really striking me today. So, I'm on Tinder, but I'm not that serious about Tinder. I don't have much faith in it. It's just a lot of robots. And there are a lot of people wanting hookups. And no, it's not what I want. It isn't what I'm not looking just for a hookup. I want to seek a long-term partner. So I'm on Hinge. Look for me on Hinge. I'm on Bumble. Look for me on Bumble. Ladies, check me out. Say hi. That's an annoying thing, by the way, on Bumble. Women have to message you first on that app. And what they message is literally just hello, which is, as most of the time when two people are interacting for the first time, whether it be in person or not, it's the guy's prerogative to take initiative. And if you just say hi, that's not enough. Women hear hi all the time. It's boring. I punch my microphone. It's not impressive. You have to be impressive. You have to be funny. You have to be charming. You have to be intelligent. All these things that I'm not. You have to be these things. And so it's fucking dumb. It makes me angry that women think they can just get away with the hello. So now when somebody just says hi to me, I say, you're going to have to try better than that. Because, baby, I'm the prize. I'm the prize on Bumble. There's still, I'm sure there's always, let's say on Tinder, it's probably 10-1 guys to girls. But on Bumble, it's probably the same thing. Even though on Bumble, the girl takes initiative, it's probably still the same thing. There's more guys than girls. I'm treating it like I'm the prize, okay? Maybe that's how I should treat it on Hinge, too. I don't know. Maybe I am the prize. Maybe that's really the lesson that we're learning here today, is that we are the prize. But, so I didn't have any pictures, right? That's kind of why I had, well, no, that's not true. I was going to say that's kind of not why I was on the dating apps for a minute. I wasn't ready. I was nervous, still nervous, but I wasn't prepared to have any type of relationship with a woman. And this is weird too. I feel weird saying woman. I'm 32. They are women, but I want to say girls, but then that's creepy, and it shouldn't be, because I just mean a female in my age group. But something about saying woman still conjures in my mind like a 65-year-old. And, if I meet a great 65-year-old, awesome. But something about woman is like breastfeeding, and her face is like leather because she's so tired. You get it. So I didn't have pictures. And luckily I've got really, really good friends who are willing to help me. And so one of my best friends and his girlfriend helped me take pictures. We went to the park, and of course these had to look like they were candid. You can't just have these, pictures that are obviously, what's the word, planned, like, me standing, posing, things like that. Like you can have some of those, but it needs to look like I've got a social life. So we're, start off on a lie. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is if you're dating, put the right foot forward and put the lie forward. Lie forward. Lie on your face. Just put the right foot forward and make sure that foot is lying. So we took these pictures, tried to make them look like they were impromptu. That's a word I was looking for. Organic, another one. Candid. I already said that. And so we went to the park. Had this outfit on. Not this one, but had, an outfit on. Went to the park, took a few pictures. Went into the park bathroom. Didn't take pictures there. Changed into a different outfit there. Get out. Take more pictures. Go back to the friend's apartment. Set up a card game that we weren't actually playing. Take a couple card game pictures. Stuff like that. Tried to make them look good. Tried to make them authentic. Like when I'm smiling in the pictures, I'm smiling. I was actually laughing at something my friend had said, or smiling at the awkwardness of the situation, whatever it is. It's not like it wasn't a school photo. But yeah, so that's what we did because I needed these pictures taken. I'm okay with them. The girlfriend of the friend did a great job. I just hate taking pictures. That's why I don't have any pictures of myself. The only pictures I have of myself are me on stage, and I don't want to just have 5 pictures on Hinge of me with a microphone, thinking that I don't want people to think I think I'm fucking amazing or the shit or whatever, because I certainly don't. I don't want them to think that I think I'm like, I don't want them to think I think I'm a star or anything like that. That's just not my personality. I don't want it to appear that way. So we got these pictures, and I hate getting pictures taken. My keyboard is so dusty. I hate getting pictures taken. It just makes me feel really uncomfortable. I don't know why. I even when I was like dating a girl and she liked to take pictures. Dating a girl. She was 7. I was dating a woman and she liked to take pictures. And I didn't like that. I would literally be like, no, don't take pictures of me. And first of all, because we're having a nice time. So stop trying to ruin the nice time and capture, like you're trying to capture this nice time, and by trying to capture it, you're ruining it. So let's just have the nice time and then remember it. Or have the nice time, and at the end of the nice time, take a picture. Don't do this thing in the middle where you want us to stop what we're doing and pose for you so you can have this thing that you're never going to look at. It's going to sit in your phone. You're not going to put this in a photo album and go through it with your children or something. You know what I mean? It's going to just, you guys know, a lot of you out there probably have 10,000 pictures in your phone. Every 6 months, you might see one of them and be like, oh, I remember that. Otherwise, you're not scanning through it. If you're out there and you're scanning through your pictures, looking at all of them, first of all, get a hobby. Second of all, let me know in the comments, because that's news to me. I don't think people do that. I don't think they look at their photos. They take these photos because they're terrified that they need to capture this moment. If they don't capture it, then somehow it's not real. And then they just never look at it again. There's all this energy and attention put into capturing this thing, where all that energy and attention could be put into just being present in the moment, having a nice time. And for some people that love taking pictures, maybe that's part of them having a nice time. Go for it. Go for it. I can't tell you not to do that. I can, but I won't. I'm not one of those people. I don't like my picture taken. If you don't vape, you should. Yeah, I just don't. And vaping is such a distraction for me. I should make a rule that I don't vape during this, really. But now it's a thing. Now I always say, if you don't vape, you should. Go, teenagers, go. If you're a little kid, vape. Get a nicotine habit. I say all these things. I feel like it's a staple. Not that this podcast is old enough to have any recurring themes or whatever, but, you know, but it's such a distraction. It stops me in my train of thought, and I cut sentences off in the middle because I need nicotine more than I need continuity. But we were able to get the pictures taken, and I'm relatively happy with them. You know, truth be told, I wish I was in a little bit better shape. Wish I was a little bit skinnier than I am. I've lost 60 pounds in the last year. I'm headed in the right direction for sure, but I still am not happy with what my body looks like. I look strong, I think. In my opinion, I look strong, but I don't look unhealthy, but I look like a guy that has a stomach, you know? I want to look like a guy that doesn't have a stomach. Literally, like there's no organ there. Like I don't eat food. That's what I want to look like. I want there to be a hole in my gut, and I want people to ask me why. What medical condition is it? That's what I want. No, but I want to be more slender. I want to look more athletic than I look. And so some of these pictures, you know, it's not like my fucking stomach's hanging out or anything like that. But, you know, I wasn't totally comfortable in my body while we're taking these pictures because I'm not totally comfortable in my body. So, you know, I'm sitting on a bench in one of them, and I'm like leaning forward because if I lean back, I'm afraid you're going to see my stomach, you know, so it's just not great. And I'm not fat even, really. I just have fat. I'm like that level of fatness where there just is fat. So it's probably me being too harsh, but I also know the caliber of woman that I want to attract. And so I don't want a better version of myself. This sounds horrible, I feel like. This sounds really maybe shallow. I don't know. I don't want to attract a woman right now that in 3 years I'll feel like I'm better than. That is a sentence that makes me really uncomfortable to say. You know that I don't make a lot of money. So I would expect a woman that wants to date me to take that into consideration. And if she's career driven, and if she's at a certain point in her career where maybe right now it makes sense monetarily for us to date, in 3 years she's feeling like, well, he's still going to be a piddling stand-up comedian. Who knows when that's going to take off? I'm going to be making three figures. I'm going to be making hundreds of dollars a year. I'm going to be making 6 figures. I'm going to be making 6 figures here in just, 18 months. And do I want to date somebody that's going to be broke for a while? So I'm thinking about it like that. I'm thinking like, well, I plan on being in very good shape here within the next 2 years. That's my goal. 2 years from now, maybe I'll look at this and be like, God damn it, why did I say that? I'm still fat and gross. But don't call yourself fat and gross, Max. Your brain hears what your mouth says. You got to treat yourself with respect. But maybe in 2 years I'll regret having said that because I'm not where I want to be. But, and so I don't want to date a girl right now that doesn't care about her body. Now, if she's someone who is heavy set or whatever it is, but she's busting her ass and working on it, that's different. But if it's somebody that like smokes, and I mean smokes, because vaping and smoking are different. Although if you're a teenager or a young person, you should take up smoking. But smokes and drinks a lot and is binge eats and things like that. And she doesn't care and she's getting heavier. Like, I don't want to be dating somebody who in 3 years is going to look worse than they look right now. Because aging already makes us look worse for the most part. I know there's the argument that men look better as they age and women look worse. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe I will. It's a podcast to talk about whatever I want. Mind your business. But, does that make sense? I want to date somebody who we're equals or near it, and we're going to remain that way as best we can. There's always going to be ways that I'm this and she's that. She knows more about movies, but I know more about books or something like that. So we're not going to be equal in every area, but we're kind of on the same page quality-wise. If we're rating each other on a scale of 1 to 10, we're both an 8. Okay? So I don't want to be dating an 8 right now who's going to be a 5 in 3 years. Just like they don't want to be dating me. Financially, I'm about a 3 right now. They don't want to be dating a 3 who in 5 years is going to be a 3. You know what I mean? I don't blame them. That's just how it is. That's how I look at it. I look at it like a point system. It's probably not the healthiest way to look at it, but that's just how my brain works. So I want to make sure that I'm attracting a certain caliber of individual, physically, mentally, emotionally. Are they stable? Are they funny? Are they intelligent? Are they career driven? Are they family oriented? Things like this. And part of that is having my profile set up in a certain way so they know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm looking for a person that's kind foremost. Are they kind? That's like my number one thing. Would they hold a door for a stranger? If you close a door on a stranger's face, I'm losing attraction to you. It's probably over with. If you're mean to a waiter, I'm almost certainly done with you. Doesn't matter how hot you are. That's not true. You could be hot enough that I would tolerate almost anything, but not forever. Eventually, those things would ruin my attraction to you. I dated a very beautiful girl who was very awful, and I put up with it for about 3 years. And most of the awful was directed at me. She wasn't terrible to other people, but she had the capacity to be. And every now and then it would come out, and I'd be like, "Yikes! I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that you weren't great to Steve, the guy that was trying to sell you a baked potato at Charleston's." So in the pictures, I kind of tried to cover up my stomach a little bit. I don't want to, you got to put your best foot forward. I don't want to lie. I don't want somebody to show up. We talk over the apps and then we meet in person for coffee and they're like, Jesus, I don't want that. I don't want them to be like, well, you're about 150 pounds heavier than I thought. But at the same time, that doesn't mean I have to tell everybody right up front, like, listen, I weigh 60 pounds more than I'd like to. I think my body's gross. And so, only date me if you're willing to date somebody with a gross body. No, because I know how to wear clothing that makes me look good. Sort of. So that's what I'll do. I'll wear the clothing that makes me look good. I'm not in a race to get naked in front of somebody, so they don't have to see my body. I can keep chipping away at this little fat tummy I've got, tink, tink, tink with a chisel. And hopefully at some point it doesn't have to be a 6-pack. I'm not really planning on that. But if it could be a flat stomach, that would be cool, or near it. I really don't have that concrete of a goal for what I want to look like. I just know that I don't want flab to be the first thing I see when I take off my shirt. I've actually always thought that I was fat, even at points in my life where I so fucking wasn't. Like, I look back at old videos of me now and I'm like, God, I was fucking skinny. I see videos of me doing stand-up. I'm like, dude, you were so fucking skinny. And I would have told you then that I was fat and gross. And it's because I didn't have a 6-pack. I still had like a stomach that moved. But I didn't realize that you could have that and be skinny. So, what was I saying? I don't need to be a Greek god or anything like that. But I know where I'm at right now, basically. I know that I'm a little bit what is it, body dysmorphic. I know that I'm not quite seeing myself exactly how I am, but I'm not where I could be. I have a double chin under this beard. I'm not where I could be. And so if I can just get a little further along, if I walk into a room, somebody might look at me and say, wow, he's got broad shoulders. Somebody might look at me and say, oh, he's got nice arms, whatever. But probably not. And so, yes, selfishly, I want to be a guy that's in good enough shape that when people see me, they notice that I'm in good shape. That's all I want. Past that, I don't really care. It's outward. You shouldn't care what other people think. Yes, you fucking should. You absolutely should care what other people think, because the way that other people view you and think about you determines how they treat you. You want to be treated well, you have to treat yourself well. So yeah, this idea that you just don't care about what other people think, that's fucking dumb. That's not what it's like to live in a society. That's not what it's like to be amongst people. Like stand-up is a very selfish career choice. Not selfish, but like it's about getting attention from other people. And so that level of attention I don't need all the time. I don't constantly need to be the center of attention. I don't constantly need to be the fucking brightest spot in the room, whatever it is. I used to be. I don't need that anymore. Sometimes I wish I still felt that way. I would probably feel funnier if I felt that way. I'm going to hit this vape. Wait there. Should have made coffee, didn't make coffee, not going to make coffee this time. Took forever to make coffee last episode. But, if you're in good shape, people notice it. And you get more attention from women. You get more attention from men. They come up to you and you're like, damn, you look good, dude. You know what I mean? And that feels good. It feels good. That's not where all of your self-esteem should come from. But if some of your self-esteem comes from getting attention from other people, that's okay. That's normal. Like half the reason I like learning so much is because I do like to be a smart guy. I want to be a guy that knows stuff. I want to be able to have answers when people need them. Things like that, and because it feels good to have answers, but also because it feels good for people to be like, wow, Max has answers. You know what I mean? If you're somebody that just goes through life and just literally doesn't care about what other people think about you, I question the quality of your life. I do. I would venture a guess that let's take a type A personality. Think about the stereotype. It's a male, type A personality, works in the stock market, in great shape, but he's a complete asshole, doesn't care what other people think about him. I think he still cares deeply what other people think about him. That's why he's so successful. That's why he's so aggressive. That's why he's in such good shape. He might present himself as though he doesn't care. He might treat other people poorly as though it doesn't matter what they think of him. But that's because he cares so deeply. That's his way of keeping them at bay. He can't handle how much he cares what they think of him. He's driven to those heights of financial success. I'm not even calling that successful, but financial success, because of how important it is to him that other people respect him. He needs that respect. He needs to be feared. I don't want that. I'm not interested in that level of whatever. But, if I could have nice biceps and nice triceps and people would notice, and I could wear a sleeveless shirt sometimes, hey. Oh, and this. Oh, but I'm on the app. I should finish talking about being on the apps first. 2 other things. I don't want to forget. Her and her. Okay, see if I remember them. So I'm hopeful. First of all, here's been my trek so far. Here's how it's gone so far. Okay, day 1. Didn't expect much. It's day 1. Hey, we got a hook. We got a fish. Whoop! Hook's in the water. Reeling her in. Pretty lady. Nice dark skin. Dad would be proud. Reeling her in. I've not fished in so long. I don't know. Does this look like fishing? People that are just listening, don't worry. It doesn't look like fishing. So we're talking, very brief conversation. I'm baking a pie. I ask her, how much pie is too much pie? She says, check this. She says, any pie is too much pie. What? What did you just say to me? I'm sorry. Did you just disparage pie? So I asked her, what do you mean? You just don't like pie, or you're hyper in shape, whatever? She says, yeah, sorry, I care about being healthy. With an attitude. With an attitude. Sorry, I care about being healthy. Yeah, implying that if you like pie, you don't care about being healthy. There's no interim. There's no middle ground where you like pie and like being healthy. It's either all pie or no pie at all. I'm going to hit this vape. So, we're off on a bad foot already. Off on a bad foot. That's okay. She doesn't have to like pie. It's not even my favorite dessert. I just know that I like dessert. Dessert is important to me. I don't have to have it with every meal, but I do care about sweets. And it's nice to sit on the couch and have something sweet and have your favorite show on. Or check this out. It's nice to sit on the couch with a significant other and be sharing a delicious dessert and being like, wow, isn't this so good? That's a nice experience to share with somebody, to have a special sweet treat and share it with your special someone. That feels good. So I ask her, okay, so you don't have pie. I say, what would you have that's sweet to eat other than fruit? Because I know, just based on what she said, she's somebody that's like, when I'm really craving something sweet, when my sweet tooth is going out of control and I think I'm going to spin down the drain and I just have to rein things back in, when I'm going wild for something sugary, you know what I have? Is a tiny, tiny grape. I already know she's one of those. So I'm like, what do you have other than fruit? Here's what she said. She has a date. Sherlock Holmes is out there. Are you cluing in? Did you figure out the mystery? Did you get it? What's a date? It's a fruit. Ugh. Now, I don't think she's dumb. I don't think she forgot that a date is a fruit. I think she's just talking, and she said that's what she would have. She would have a date. Now, I don't know why she couldn't figure something out that wasn't a fruit. Maybe she literally only eats fruit for sweets, which, boring. Sorry, boring. I don't care. Again, I want to be in good shape. I just talked about it for 10 minutes. I'm going to have more than fruit. Sorry. That's the life I'm going to live. I'm not going to give up everything. There are people that want to give up everything so they can look perfect, and those people are freaks. They're freaks in nature. Go for it, dude. If that's what makes you happy, bodybuilders where there's just no fat on their body, dude, go for it. That's an amazing accomplishment. I think you look horrible, but it's an amazing accomplishment. It takes an insane level of discipline. Have your little grape. Cool. Probably don't even have grapes. That's probably too much sugar for them. So maybe she's one of those. But I said, here's my strategy when I'm talking with women on the dating apps, as I try to be funny and I try to flirt. How do you flirt? And guys flirt by being a little bit, they take little jabs. They tease the girl. That's what it is. Not like we're in 5th grade and I'm going to punch her in the shoulder and be like, ha ha. But we tease. We poke a little fun. We get them to react. But then we can be heartfelt too. We can do both things. But like I said, you have to be interesting. You can't just be nice all the time. That's not how guys, I would be the most successful man in dating history if I could just be nice. I am so nice. And I know that sounds like I'm bragging and I'm not nice. I fight against how nice I am. I'm too nice to people. So when I'm flirting, especially on the apps, in person, I struggle to flirt. I struggle to do what is necessary to attract a woman in person. But digitally, I can kind of do it. So I take a little jab. I say, a date's a fruit, right? I don't even say it like that. I'm pretty sure a date's a fruit. And here's where it ends. She says, you need to learn how to talk to women. So silly. That's what she says. So silly. You need to learn how to talk to women. So silly. And then blocks me. Leading up to that point, there had already been a couple times where I told a little joke and she took it very seriously. I basically knew immediately that there was no chemistry because this person has no fucking sense of humor, right? Like, I get that sarcasm doesn't always read over text, but this was not complex, guys. I was not doing verbal puzzles with her. I was teasing. You know what I mean? It was pretty clear. Also, here's this. When I asked, what do you eat other than fruit? She said a fucking date. So maybe I could have just been like, that's a fucking fruit, dumbass. I could have done that. It's not what I did. So, you know, a couple times leading up to that, I said something. She said something and I said, do you always do this? Like, as a joke, like, do you always do that? Clearly knowing that she doesn't always do that thing, whatever that thing, I literally can't remember. And I would just look at my phone and tell you, but she blocked me, which deletes the conversation thread. Oh, I miss her. I miss her so much. So, I said, do you always do this? And she goes, do you always assume? And so at first, when she first did that, I was like, oh, cool. She can like kind of kick it back. She can dish it out. She can take it. She can dish it out. And then she did things like that a couple more times. And I realized, oh, she just has no sense of humor and she's very serious. And she's an angry person that wants me to, I don't know if she wants me to bow before her. I don't know if she wants me to just be nice. But the way that she wants to be treated is not the way that people interact. So her expectation of how I should treat her needs to be communicated. You know, now, dating app, our first few lines back and forth, I don't expect her to voice these deep kinds of things like, here's what I need from you. But because that's what she expects, she's not going to fucking find it. She's going to continue to have these interactions where guys are acting a certain way. They're flirting, they're kidding, they're teasing. And she's going to be bummed out that they're not treating her like a princess because we don't know you. I'm not going to treat you like my fucking girlfriend until you're my girlfriend. You know, it ain't going to happen. So she blocks me. That's interaction number one. That's girl number one. Great. Didn't bother me. It made me laugh. I mean, it was a little bit like, Jesus Christ. And did part of me feel like, oh shit, do I not know how to talk to women? Because she wasn't saying you need to learn how to flirt. She wasn't saying you're unattractive and boring. She was saying you're disrespectful. She was saying you're mean and you need to learn how to be nice. That's what she was saying. And I'll reiterate after I vape. I'll reiterate. I know how to be nice. More than I know how to do most things, I know how to be nice. I have to choose to not be nice in my life. I have to think critically in the moment and decide that the right course of action is to not be nice sometimes. My default is almost never to be mean. The only time I default to being kind of snarky is if I'm I'm out to eat with my family and the waiter's giving my family bad service, then I might get frustrated. But I'll still tip them 20%, but I'll get a little frustrated. This fucking bothers me, when the waiter can't remember anybody's order, but he's not writing it down. If you can't remember it, write it down. Also, if you're the one that took the order and you come back to the table and you don't know who got what, makes me feel like you don't give a shit. There's only 3 of us. There's nobody else. If you're fucking swamped and busy, you're swamped and busy, and I don't expect you to remember it. But we went out to brunch. This is a real thing. Clearly, you can tell I'm channeling something that actually happened. Go out to brunch where his only table, there's 3 of us, and he can't remember who got what. What were you fucking doing, dude? What were you doing? You took our orders. You're not somebody else that's helping the server by bringing the food to the table. You're the fucking guy that took the order. Am I to expect that this is correct if you can't even remember what we got? And they're vastly different things. One person gets an omelet. One person gets a Danish. The other person gets pancakes. We don't look alike. I don't look like my mom. She's a woman. I'm a man. I don't look like my dad. I outweigh him by 300 or 400 pounds. He couldn't figure it out. So that kind of thing annoys me, but I didn't turn into an asshole. I was just like, hey man, she got this, he got this, I got that. That's what I said. He was like, oh, who had who had, she had this, and it, guys, and there was levels of it. Okay, I didn't jump right to that. There were 4 or 5 things that happened that showed he didn't care first, and then I did that still, and he still got 20 or more %. So, you know, and I said be nice to servers in the beginning when I was talking about what I expect a significant other to do for me. They need to be nice to waiters. I you know, got a lot of experience in restaurants. I expect you to be nice to waiters. Waiters are my people. So she's telling me to be nice. She's telling me to stop being disrespectful to women. Brother, if I respected women less, I would be way more sexually successful. I would have way more dates in my life if I were less respectful to women. I know, you know, like when men and women are young, in their 20s, whatever, younger than that, girls like the bad boy, but the bad boy just means the guy that acts like he doesn't give a shit about them. They like that. They do. You can fucking argue it all you want, but I saw it with my very own eyes. All the guys that had a lot of success with women were the guys that were too cool to care about the girl's feelings. So I've never been one of those guys. If I could be more like one of those guys, I would have been way more successful with women throughout my life. Now I'm in my 30s. Max, you're in your 30s. Stuff changes. Not really. Not really. Changes a little bit. Women grow up, they wisen up a little bit, and they start to realize, like, oh, I want a guy that actually cares and has feelings and is able to communicate. Yeah, but guess what they still want in the very beginning of the relationship? Relationship being in their very first interactions. They still want a guy that's cool and confident and snarky and that kind of seems like he doesn't care a little bit. They still want that. They still want it, and it's maddening because that's not who I am. It's not, but I have to act that way. I don't know why. I think it's something evolutionary where the guy, when he's doing that, when he's acting like he doesn't care because he's got a million other options, he's somehow exhibiting a level of confidence that tells the woman's reptilian brain, and I don't mean women have reptilian brains and men don't. I mean that we've all got a reptilian brain at some point deep in there that responds to certain things that we can't control. And for women, one of those things is a guy that's acting like he kind of doesn't care. Not that he doesn't care at all, but he kind of doesn't care. You know? You can't care too much. If you're too nice, you're buying them flowers on the first date, whatever it is, you're creepy. You're creepy. Which to me, that should be so fucking nice and kind and romantic. It's creepy. Are there women out there that would like flowers on the first date? Sure. Maybe this was one of them. Maybe this chick that only eats dates was one of them. I don't know. I don't really care. Because it's over. It's fucking over. I'm going to blow out my sound on my microphone. It's going to be so annoying to fix and post. But, so that ends. Clearly that ends. It's good that it ends. And I don't take any of this too seriously. I try to be authentic. I try to be funny, charming, and engaged. I try to ask them about themselves. So that doesn't work out. My heart is certainly not broken. I'm fine. Like I said, I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt. Next girl, very pretty. Very pretty. Works in fashion. Moved from New Zealand to Pittsburgh. Then moved to Indianapolis. Very pretty, like girl next door pretty. Like, wow, you could see her in real life. Not like Instagram model pretty. We get to talking. She wants to switch to Telegram. It's a communications app. I'm like, that's weird. Why can't we just talk over Tinder? I feel like we could just talk over Tinder. Tinder's pretty easy. Or normally, here's what I do after like a day of talking on an app like that. I don't even ask for their number. I give them my number. And then they can text me if they want. Because I'm trying to get a coffee date. I'm trying to see if there's chemistry. I'm trying to move this into real life. I'm not trying to stay on the fucking app forever to just chat with you and fill your time. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a real thing. I'm not going to be your plaything. I'm not going to entertain you, whatever it is. If this is not going to move forward, I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to find somebody else that's looking for the same things that I'm looking for. So, weird. She wants to switch to this other app to talk. Some of you already know what I'm about to say, but she wants to switch to this other app to talk. I think that's weird. I have an idea of what's going on immediately. As soon as because we had some really good conversation, as soon as she suggested this, my heart sunk a little bit. Because I'm not going to lie, she'd been single for 4 years. That's what she said. I've been single for 4 years. There were some other bright spots where I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Huh. My interest is piqued. She's very pretty, and also, we've got some things in common. Nice. So, as soon as she asked me to switch to this Telegram app, my heart sinks a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I was excited about this one. Wasn't excited about Grape Girl. Please know that I said grape. Wasn't excited about, I should name a different fruit, Watermelon Girl. But I was a little bit excited about this one. I'm going to name her because it doesn't matter. Angola. I was excited about Angola. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. It doesn't matter. It matters if that's your name. It doesn't matter if that's not your name, we'll say. So I researched this. I Google. Tinder match wants me to switch to Telegram. Bunch of things come up. Guys, you're not going to believe this. Bunch of scams come up. Apparently, there's a bunch of bots on Tinder, and they want you to switch to other messaging apps because they're less easy to track that way. And then they won't get banned on Tinder and have to make a new account. Crazy stuff, you guys. Crazy stuff going on out there. So I already knew that this is what was happening. And then I read this stuff, and I was like, of course this is what's happening. So, but she'd given me enough real information that I was like, you know what? She said she moved from New Zealand. Maybe this is a free way to talk to her family. I don't believe it. I'm almost certain this is a scam, but I don't have anything to lose. I'm sitting on my couch watching a horror movie. I can download this free app. And I made sure before I interacted with her at all on it that I could block my phone number so she couldn't see it, and I could block my location. I blocked everything. She couldn't get anything from me on it. I looked all this up via the whole, scam pages telling you, like, this is probably a scam. Here's what to do to protect yourself so you can figure out if it's a real person or not. It's a real person, but if it's actually who they say they are or not. So I download Telegram, set it all up so you can't see my phone number and all that. Start talking. Well, I ask her on Tinder, how can I find you on Telegram? She tells me. If you want to hit her up on Telegram, it's Angola, Angola 3090. Send her a message. Tell her Max says hi. And then give her the middle finger. We start talking. Okay. We start talking. Here's where I knew it was a scam. For sure. Well, here's what I'll say. Here's where I was 99% sure it was a scam. She asks me what I do she asks me how my last month has been. I tell her, I ask her what, she's been in Indianapolis for 3 months, she says. I ask her what's been the worst thing in the last 3 months and what's been the best thing in the last 3 months. Worst thing has been working a lot. Best thing, here's 99% sure it's a scam. She says, the best thing is that we have so much in common, and now that I'm talking to you, and I know that you live here most of the time, I'm so excited. I know that it's a scam at this point, basically, because women are not that forward. Especially within the first few hours of interacting, they're not going to show their cards like that. They just don't. This whole, don't play a game, just be direct with the person you're trying to date, is bullshit. You have to play a game. There's a game that must be played. The pieces must be moved correctly, or the attraction's going to fall apart. You're not going to meet up in person, whatever. There's a game that has to be played. Less so in person. In person, you can be just more of yourself, and if the attraction's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. But over the apps, there's a game that must be played. And a game still must be played in person. You can't text too much. You can't call too much. You can't be too needy. You can't be too forward. You can't be too nice. You can't be too mean. Okay? You can't be too relaxed. You can't be too stressed. There's a game that must be played. You're putting your best foot forward. It's a dumb fucking game, but it's a game that must be played. So she tells me this. Way too nice. Way too forward. Way too romantic. Way too sweet. Not how women behave. It's not. It's how men trying to trick an involuntarily celibate guy behave. He thinks I'm a fucking because guys, we know it's a he. He thinks that I'm some pathetic fucking loser that's going to go for this because she, quote unquote, is pretty. I already know it. So I want to get to the next line of this to confirm. I ask her, what does she like to do in her free time? You know what she likes to do in her free time? She likes to invest in cryptocurrency to try and make some extra money. And that's when I knew for sure that this was the 100% mark. We hit it. We did it. For sure it's a scam. 100%. Here's how it works. There's a couple different scams. One, which I'm glad this was not the one that I got. They send you nudes, and then they try to get you to send them nudes. And I'm glad that I didn't get this one, because if a girl starts sending me nudes, I don't know what I'm capable of. No, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter if I got this one, but whatever. It would have been, I think, more confusing. But they send you nudes. They try to get you to send them nudes. And then when you send them nudes, they find your friends and contacts and all that, and they blackmail you. Okay, now, like I said, I'm not happy with my body, but I literally don't care if my mom sees my penis. So good luck blackmailing me with that. I would think it's funny. If all of my contacts got a picture of my penis, that's hysterical. That's a new joke. My life revolves around what's funny. You're helping me. That's so funny. I don't have the balls, no pun intended, to send a picture of my balls to every single person on my phone. But if I did, I would, because that would make me laugh. So if you're going to do it for me, thank you so much. I'm going to talk about it on stage, and I'm going to get a lot of laughs. You're going to write me a new 5 minutes. I appreciate it. So, but that's one. They blackmail you with nudes. The other one is they try to get you to invest in a bullshit cryptocurrency, basically. They try to get you to fund money through their scam website. So you get no crypto, and why would you want it anyways? Like, it's not, even if you get something, like, crypto's already up in the air enough, but you're not getting anything. And so they just get your money. So I considered going with it and just wasting his time. I do that sometimes when I get calls from like telemarketers and stuff. I just waste their time. I got a lot of free time, guys. You want to call me and try to waste my fucking time on a scam? I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get you to think that I'm going with it. I'm going to get you excited. You think I'm excited? I'm going to get you excited. And then I'm going to break your heart, because I know you're making money based on your sales, quote unquote. You're the people that you trick. So I'm going to waste your fucking time. You're going to spend hours of your day with me. And then at the end of the day, you're not going to have done shit. And now the pennies that you get for being successful, you're not going to get. So now that bag of rice you were hoping to buy, you're not going to be able to buy it. Fuck you. You're starving the night because of Max. Kill yourself. I hate saying kill yourself, but I really hate scammers. They prey on the weak. They prey on the old. They prey on the dumb, whatever it is. I fucking hate them. And I wish there were better protections against them. I feel like there could be, but there's not. Another thing that America is just like, just do whatever you want. Just, we'll just let it get as bad as it can get, and then we'll worry about it. That's kind of America's policy on stuff. Just let it become as horrible as possible, and then we'll probably maybe deal with it. And not effectively, by the way. We'll just start talking about it. We'll bicker about it for 25 years. Love it here. I do. I'm a patriot. I love America. Hate our politicians. All of them. Which ones? Every single one of them. So, even Bernie Sanders. So, yeah, I thought about going with it, wasting Angola's time. Angola. ANGOLA 3090 on Telegram. Again, tell her Max says hi. Thought about wasting her time. Decided that I'd rather just watch the movie I was watching. So here's what they do too. They typically will delete you immediately on Tinder so that you can't report them. Here's where Angola slipped up, and we're going to call her Steve from now on. Here's where Steve slipped up. Steve didn't block me on Tinder, right? Because they assume you're talking already on this other app. You're not going to check Tinder again to see their messages because you're already so infatuated with them. As soon as it brought up cryptocurrency, I went right over to Tinder and reported her. Steve. Reported Steve. And then I just messaged back and I said, reported on Tinder. Enjoy the ban. You stupid idiot. Enjoy the ban, you big, dumb motherfucker. You're bad at this. Not only are you a lying scammer, piece of shit, you're also bad at it. Imagine being a bad person, but being so bad at being a bad person, you couldn't effectively be a bad person. You know how easy it is to be a bad person? I was a bad person for a long time. I did it professionally even, you might say. I made some money being a bad person. It's So easy to be bad. Not when it comes to dating. If I could be bad when it comes to dating, I'd put on a leather jacket, wear a fucking wallet chain, and I'd have so many babes. So easy to be bad morally. You're failing at that, Steve. And here's the deal. Did it hurt my feelings? Yes, a little. I was a little disappointed because of some of the interaction we had had. Steve tricked me. He had a nice pair of knockers. I got a little excited. Steve tricked me a little bit in the beginning. That's fine. But as soon as the Telegram thing came up, I already started setting my expectations. So that was very quick. That happened within an hour of us talking. And it's not we weren't talking back and forth for an hour. There was a couple messages sent. So that happened quickly enough that I was tempered my expectations and I knew what the fuck was going on. So was I disappointed? Yes. It happened yesterday. I'm fine. It actually gave me some more confidence. It actually made me feel like, you know what, if there's just a bunch of scammers and shit, I'm just going to put myself out there more. Because the worst thing that could happen, I prevented. It's not going to happen. So, because what's the bad scenario with a real woman? You go on a coffee date, you get a little excited, and the coffee date, there's no chemistry. Whatever. That's way better than fucking losing your money to a fake crypto scam. So, I'm excited, guys. I'm enjoying being back on the apps. It's new. I mean, it's literally just been within a few days, but I'm excited putting myself back out there again. And I want to say, if you've listened this far in the episode, thank you so much. Truly, I know these are almost an hour long. That's not an insignificant amount of time to me, to you, to whatever. So thank you for sitting with me. It really does mean a lot. Also, put yourself out there, not just if you've been single, but if you are wanting to do something, if you want to paint, fucking go do it, dude. Take a risk, go do it. My life is better because I decided that, you know what? I deserve to have a significant other. I'm going to get on the apps. I'm going to put myself out there. Even though I'm not totally happy with what my body looks like, I'm not totally happy with the amount of money that I'm making, what my life, where it's at, all that stuff. I'm putting myself out there, and it's really important. It's really important to do those kinds of things so that you can feel good about you. Because by me putting myself out there, it's a way of me telling myself that I have worth, that I'm a good person, that I have value, and that other people will value me. It's really important to do those things. I don't know how to say it other than the ways that I've just said it. You got to fucking value yourself. And sometimes in order to value yourself or to show yourself that you do, you can't just say it. You can't just say, I'm great, I'm awesome, I love myself. Sometimes you have to prove it to yourself by doing things. I'll bring up painting again. Your brain wants you to paint. You want to be creative, but you're scared because you know you're going to suck at it when you first start. You can't just say, I'm cool. I like myself. Prove yourself that you like yourself by going and taking care of yourself, by doing this thing that you're excited about. It's key. All moments eternally nice, baby. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we fucking do, dude. Make your moments nicer, please. I hope you guys have a great week. I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.